Hello everybody and welcome to the very first episode of Chinwag, a monthly show that's going to come in replacement of the Roundtable. Bit of everything. We're going to take some of your questions and we're going to chat about a number of different issues that are going on in the world in this month. How you doing, Dad?
I'm good. Chinwag. Apparently it doesn't translate in America. Chinwag is a English phrase meaning, or an English word meaning having a chat.
Basically, yeah. It makes sense. Chin wags when you talk, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So first episode, we're going to talk a little bit about disclosure and Disclosure Day because we went to watch it yesterday. The timing of it, I think, is highly relevant. There's a lot more coming out recently around disclosure, around this subject, and anything that's got Spielberg's hands on it usually means it's coming from, you know, the cult in a kind of preemptive programming type way. So what was your initial take on the film? Was it what you were expecting? Was it different to what you were expecting? What do you think the relevance of it is?
It was what I was expecting because when you watch it from the perspective of researching the background to all this quote alien subject, it was a psyop. And what's a psyop? Psychological operation. It's to manipulate perception. And so you had the whole Spielberg narrative beforehand, that it was about empathy. He was emphasizing in the interviews, promoting it, that empathy. And that's what we saw. We saw an empathetic delivery or portrayal of alien life as somehow benevolent. Now, I'm not saying for a second there isn't benevolent life out there, of course, but that's not the nature of the non-human force that's manipulating human society. And that's what they don't want you to know. They don't want you to know what the real situation is. And, you know, you've got to get your head around the fact that the whole approach of authority, particularly inner circle authority, is they're lying to you. They're lying to you because to control perception is to control the population. And there's two ways you can go with the whole alien subject in terms of manipulation. You can go down the fear route, and I'm sure that will be used, where, oh, God, the aliens are coming, is an invasion, or what are we going to do? And you can go down, as Spielberg does in this film, you can go down the benevolent route, that, oh, we should be sympathetic with these aliens. There was a point in the movie where the word empathy came up, where it was like the aliens are saying you must be more empathetic as humanity, otherwise, you know, where you're going will continue. And of course, the whole point is the manipulation of human perception is designed to, as much as possible, delete empathy and to create division and to create conflict. That's the whole point of it. And this non-human force, since way back, has been manipulating human perception. So for the aliens to be quoted as saying, oh, the problem is, you know, you lack empathy, is actually an inversion of the truth. And I found it interesting that you had these feds in the dark suits, and often the sunglasses, who were trying to stop the truth about aliens, in the film's perception of the truth, coming out. And yet the feds, what people call the deep state, the global cult, as I call it, is actually being controlled ultimately by a non-human force. And so again, you have another massive inversion in the feds are the bad guys, and the people trying to get the truth out of the good guys, and the aliens are the good guys. Really, they just want to get the truth out about the good guys. And yet the reality that we're experiencing is completely different. You know, the feds answer to the cult answers to this non-human force. That's what they don't want us to know. And I remember saying just before the turn of the year that this would, 2026, be the year of the alien. And the reason I said that is because of this Spielberg film. I saw that it was coming out in June. And, you know, when you look at Spielberg's background and Spielberg's history, and he's very much connected to the whole alien thing in his movies, and you see that his family and him and his mother, etc., are very, very connected to the Chabad Lubavitch network, which locks into Putin, it locks into Israel, it locks into so many countries. And so you look at that, you think, well, he's bringing out this alien movie, which is about disclosure, that the fact that the aliens are here. And at the same time, you've watched year after year the authorities, particularly in America, become more and more okay with taking the alien threat, the alien mystery seriously. Because I remember back in the 1990s when I was traveling America a lot, that the whole extraterrestrial story was being researched by people. I met many, many whistleblowers in my months and months in America in different periods, who were telling me their experience of the interaction between humans and non-humans, the authorities and non-humans, etc. But the authority response to the information that was being brought to light by these various channels and sources was, that's ridiculous. You little green men, what are you talking about? Oh, no, it was the weather balloon in Roswell and all this stuff. And then, so you got used to that. You got used to the authority dismissal of it. And then suddenly it's flipped.
Yep.
It flipped a few years ago before Trump. And the reason I said this could be this would be the year of the alien, 2026, in terms of public arena focusing on that subject, was because of the Spielberg movie. I thought you look at the years passing where the whole kind of feel has changed. Oh yeah, well we have got all this footage, and this is military footage, and we don't know what's going on, all this stuff. And suddenly this movie comes along, and you think, there's no way those two things aren't connected. And of course, within weeks of 2026 unfolding, you had Trump and the Pentagon saying we're going to release more footage, and we're going to be more transparent about the UAP, what we used to call UFO, knowledge, information from with been held secretly up to this point. And in the last few weeks, you've seen more footage being released. They say that more and more will be released, because what we've seen so far is pretty mild compared with what they will have. But now you've all this has happened in the run-up to this movie being launched. And of course, what the Disclosure Day is going to do, it's going to focus attention on the subject. Yeah. And it's going to start debate. Are there aliens? What's being covered up? And all this stuff. And the way that non-human life was portrayed in the movie was in a very benevolent light, that they are more evolved than us, and that basically you had that those scenes that were supposed to be from Roswell, and you had the well, they were like greys, weren't they? Grey aliens,
they were,
the classics, of course. And you had them captured and taken into captivity and then treated very badly. And you had the empathy feel about, why are humans treating the aliens so badly? And then at the end, you had the unveiling of the big grey alien in some sort of situation which basically was presenting them as wise, and people you must listen to. And so the whole thing was a psyop because it's hiding the fact, like I say, not saying there aren't benevolent, non-human entities, forces out there. Of course there are. But that which is manipulating humanity and manipulating this reality is not benevolent. And all I say to you is, look at the world and look at what's happened through history. Look back, as I do in the roadmap, at ancient stories which are clearly of the, quote, alien presence, that fused into, in many religions, into a singular God. I mean, most people don't realize, for instance, that the term God, singular, in the Old Testament and going on into the New Testament, comes from a word, Elohim, meaning plural.
Yep.
So you're talking not about God, you're talking about gods as they were perceived, i.e., if you had another species, shall we say, coming in that could do things that the ancients couldn't do, then you would perceive them as in some way godlike.
Yep.
I remember the classic story out in the East during the Second World War, when American troops were landing on their island and taking cargo off as part of the whole war effort, and it started a religion of the cargo gods because they were doing things and they were flying and all these things which the indigenous population there couldn't even dream of. And so they must be godlike. They must be to be worshipped. And this is the same dynamic, if you look at the ancient accounts, between the non-humans and the human population. And you look at around the world and you see these pantheons of gods, the Egyptian pantheon, the Greek pantheon, the Roman pantheon, etc. But there are pantheons of gods all over the world, and then if you look at the biblical accounts, yes, in their pre-translated into English state, and you look at the other accounts that didn't get into the Bible, it's very clear that they're talking about non-human entities that came in and took the place over, or at least were part of taking the place over. So what we are looking at when you see the interaction in those ancient times is anything but a benevolent force. They were very dictatorial. They were very hostile They demanded that humans serve them and enslaved humanity. And then, through the various translations, the gods became a singular god, which has controlled the perceptions of the population ever since. You know, the line in the Bible, the sons of God who interbred with the daughters of men, that actually says in the original, the sons of the gods, sons plural of the gods plural, interbred with the daughters of men. And quite clearly there was massive genetic manipulation that went on at that time, which I think is still impacting on human perception today.
Hi, love. Can I get 2 lattes, please? 1 decaf.
Oh, thank you. I've just seen the most horrendous news on the Epstein files. No, I actually wish I could unsee it.
You mean that stuff that I've been banging on about for years now?
Alright, show what?
Look, you can just admit when you're wrong.
Please may I get a white wine, small?
And I'll get 1 of those, please.
So then, how do I become a conspiracy realist?
Well, first things first, you've got to unsubscribe from all your mainstream platforms, so ITV, BBC, bin it. Then you're going to subscribe to the only platform that's actually there to set you free.
Great, more money to spend. Also, is really a man?